Sorry. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is, I should probably sit still. My name is Shanice and this is my channel, September Love. Let me close my window before I continue. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Okay, now I'm ready. My channel, September Love. My name is Shanice and I am here to have a little chat with you guys and fill you guys in on one of my life updates. As we all know, over the past almost 2 years, we've been on lockdown. That's my little balloon for my birthday. We've been on lockdown and quarantining and things like that, and obviously so many people have gained weight, lost weight, so many different life changes happened in that time, right? But I'm going to refer to more so the physical changes. I kind of want to talk about mine and how it's affected me. So I don't know if you guys remember, I did a video a couple weeks back, I think at the beginning of the month, beginning of September, just referencing my weight gain and what that means, what's happening, all that stuff, because it's not just a, hey, I'm eating a lot of food and this is where I am. I feel like if that was the case, I would feel so much better. However, I'm gonna be sharing something with you guys. This is so nerve-wracking. I found out that I have a condition called PCOS. Now, PCOS stands for polycystic ovarian syndrome, and it shows up in different ways. And one of the main things that I am learning, because I'm still learning about it, it's not something I know a lot about. It's like a new world for me. But one of the things that I have learned about it is that it can, not necessarily, but it can cause a little bit of difficulty when trying to conceive a child and things like that. It also does have different effects. So it can really affect your mood. So you have a lot of mood swings. It can cause weight gain, which is one of my symptoms. It can also cause facial hair, chest hair, and everything, extreme fatigue, irregular periods, and things like that. So for me, something that I've experienced, my symptoms, which I'll be very open about, is irregular periods has been an issue for me for a long time, but I didn't know why. Like, I wasn't really sure why. I'm like, maybe this is just how I am. I honestly didn't know. And so irregular periods is one of my symptoms. So I remember one time in high school, maybe my first year of university, I didn't get my period for like 6 months or something like that. And I went to the doctor about it. So I did go to the doctor about it. And this is sometimes the frustration about being a young Black woman and not being taken seriously when you go to the doctor. Because I went to the doctor, I remember, I think it was 2015. And I said, hey, like these are the things that I've noticed. My period's not coming the way it's supposed to. Sometimes it's great, sometimes it's not. Obviously, I'm like, do I have PCOS? Because I've heard about this thing. Do I have that? And she said to me, no, you don't, because we've scanned your we did an ultrasound and there's no cysts on your ovaries. Now, I thought because I didn't have cysts on my ovaries that I was good to go, and maybe I just need to like lose weight or this and that. And if you look back at like old pictures, you'll see in my 20s, my weight fluctuates a lot. I think right now, which I'm no longer in my 20s, but right now is the heaviest I've ever been. And I think this is the most severe my PCOS has been. And I think a lot of it has to do with stress. So I'm going to try to go through this as quickly as I can and kind of explain to you how I feel about it, what I'm learning, and things like that. And for anybody else who has experience with this, then you can also share in comments below. Maybe I missed something, or you can also educate me as well, because like I said, I don't know everything. So I spoke to the doctor. She said, yeah, you don't have any cysts, so you're fine. You just have to make sure that you are losing weight and this and that. At that time, I was heavy, but it wasn't extremely heavy. Like, I was bigger, but I wasn't extremely big. And I said, you know what, I got to do something about it. And then I remember in 2017, I decided to get a trainer. That's when I was able to afford a trainer, because I was working out and stuff, and I had moments in my 20s where I would work out, lose weight on my own and whatever. And I realized it was getting harder as the years went by. But I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm getting older. That's going to happen. Your body doesn't respond the same way. But remember, and my trainer is honestly the best. Like, love her to pieces. And I think on that, now that I look back, I'm like, you can tell that there's something going wrong, because I told her, she's like, what are your goals? And my goals are to lose weight, to look good in a bathing suit. Like, let's not lie. Let's we want to look good in a two-piece. But also get my period. Like, I want my period to be regular. And I know the doctor mentioned you have to lose weight in order for you to get your period. And it can help your body, operate, and your hormones to be leveled and all the different stuff. So when I told my trainer this, she was like, okay, cool. So I started working out with her, I think maybe around September, October. And I remember for the first 6 months, maybe, literally not a pound. Like, it was frustrating. Like, I was feeling good, but it wasn't looking good. Like, nothing was changing. This has been 6 months. Like, what's happening? And then I remember she readjusted my workouts and did a lot of strength training with me. And then all of a sudden, everything just dropped, like all the weight. Like, I think I dropped 17 pounds in like a month and a half. Like, it was very fast. It was like all the weight that was waiting to, like, the fat was like waiting to like be removed, literally just dropped like off. And so I was like, yes, you know what I mean? I was so happy. And like, I was back into the 100s, because I was not in the 100s. I haven't been in the 100s since, oh gosh, like maybe second year of university, maybe. I think most of my 20s I've been 200 plus pounds. And so public was there, you don't look like it, but like, honey, I do have a lot of muscle mass. I've always been that child, always been that person. I always have a lot of muscle. My legs are very muscular, arms are very muscular, but my stomach was always, and it's always my area of insecurity where I hate it. Anyways, I worked out with my trainer, lost that weight, it was great. I kept it off for a little bit, and then things started to, come back up again. I started training with her again, lost weight again, whatever, and we just focused on strength training. And I didn't know how significant that was to PCOS until most recently. So I think what happened, or what triggered my PCOS to escalate in the last few months is, and I also was not, it was not confirmed to me, because like I said before, I went to the doctor, she said, you don't have it because you don't have cysts on your ovaries. But you don't have to have cysts on your ovaries to have PCOS. If you have one of those symptoms, like, three of the four, which is weight gain, I think is weight gain, excessive hair growth or hair loss, mood swings, irregular periods, like the combination of any of those, like, you're kind of in there. So because I figured, okay, well, I don't have cysts on my ovaries and I'm fine, maybe I'm just having a hard time losing weight and that's just it. But I didn't know that, no, like, your body is literally going to respond to this differently because there's something else happening. So fast forward, I realized that around, I would say, April of 2021 is when I noticed the weight gain started to, increase, because my stress levels were increased. I was working at home with grade 3s whom I adore, but it was a very stressful time. I remember just being stressed all the time. My eating was not consistent. You also have like really intense cravings. So on the average person, so average woman who maybe have like period cravings or PMS, it's like that times 1,000. So you have crazy cravings. Sometimes I would eat, sometimes I wouldn't eat. Sometimes I have an appetite, sometimes I don't. And then my stress levels were just increasing like crazy. And then I remember they changed. I think what really triggered it for me, why I say April, is because I remember I was looking forward to the March break. And I'm like, okay, March break, I'll get time to just relax my brain and just like regroup and just not do anything related to work. And then when they changed it from March to April, I was like, I cannot do this. Like, I was like, OMG. Because there are perks to staying home, but it was stressful. Like, it was, and it wasn't so much the workload, it was just being on the computer every day. My back was hurting because I'm sitting in this chair all day. Like, then you're just tired. It was just like, you're not going outside, you're not getting enough vitamin D, all these different things. So I said, I need to do something different. So I hit up my god sister because she talks to a naturopath doctor. I'm like, let me talk to someone who actually can give me something different. And when I spoke to her, that was kind of the confirmation that I got without getting it. And she's like, okay, like these are all your symptoms, whatever. That's kind of what it's leaning towards. I did some blood work, and then the blood work, it showed that the things that basically are lacking in someone who has PCOS were also lacking in me. So I know that I started following this couple on Instagram. They have a channel called, or page called PCOS weight loss, and I'll put it there so you guys can see. And the main thing, if you guys notice, when I started my gluten-free, dairy-free journey, that's why. Because I was like, let me try this out and see what's happening. I think it was before I even talked to the doctor, because I'm like, I feel this is what it is, because something is not right. And this is the longest stretch that I haven't had my period, and it was just very, very frustrating. So I was like, something has to change, something has to give, because I don't know what's going on. Anyways, so I started doing the gluten-free, dairy-free, which I love, because I noticed, because what happens with the gluten, it causes extreme bloating. It also releases a hormone. I don't want to say the wrong information, but it causes extreme bloating and can trigger a certain hormone in the body that is not healthy for someone who has PCOS. And dairy has a lot of extra hormones in it. And for PCOS, you're trying to balance your hormones. Also, I had insulin resistance. So what was happening, which is also a type of PCOS. So insulin resistance, there's adrenal fatigue, I don't want to give you the wrong information. I'm not trying to get too deep, but like, anyways, I realized, hey, insulin resistance is what the doctor said, like that's what you're experiencing. And so your body is not responding to the sugars, not putting things in the right place. So I'm here thinking I'm gaining weight, because it was a confusing, like I remember I was working out at the time, and then I stopped for like maybe 2 weeks, and then the weight that I gained, I was like, this is not normal. Like, I've never been this big in my life. I've never gained weight this fast. But I think what was happening is, because I stopped for those 2 weeks, my hormones were not leveled out, and just exploded, basically. That's how I feel. And when I told the doctor, and I'm not a very tall person, I'm 5'4". So the weight that I was carrying, and I can also feel it in my body, and then with my height, she's like, no, this has to change. So dairy and gluten-free diet was what I started. Like, I eased off dairy for a long time. The only thing that was hard for me to get rid of was cheese, which cheese is like an issue. But milk, I didn't really do yogurt. Like, I was mainly cheese. That was like, okay, when I have like, spaghetti and things like that, I'll put it on. So I cut those things out and all that. And I think for me, how I feel, knowing that I have this diagnosis, it's mixed emotions. I think for me now, I'm more so happy that I know what it is. Like, I have answers. Like, it's not as confusing, but also it's kind of sad, because sometimes it feels like, sometimes it feels like, why is my body not doing what it's supposed to do? Or you feel like a failure. And I think one of the main things that would always scare me is because, I want to have children, and I'm like, there's something else I have to think about, and it's exciting that I know information now, and I know how to kind of like reverse the symptoms and like make sure that my body is healthy, my reproductive system is healthy, my levels are good, my hormones are good. Now I have the information, but it's also kind of like, why me? Like it's kind of frustrating. My close friends who know me know that me being a mom is like a big deal for me, having a family, and it also made me like question, like maybe that's not the life for me, maybe that won't happen for me, maybe this is why, like maybe that's why I have so many god kids. Like I literally think so many things, because I'm just like, what? But it is annoying because I'm like, I know there's so many women who are like, oh, I hate getting my period, da da da. Like when I get my period, I'm happy because I feel like something is going right inside. I'm doing something right, but that's how it makes you feel. Sometimes I'm like, I don't care, I'll be good. Like I'm figuring it out, I'm learning my body, I'm adjusting, and there's just some days where I'm just like, what? Like, why can't I just be like everybody else? Like, what I have to, just this, gluten-free that, dairy-free that, And also when it comes to even like losing weight, people think, okay, girl, just go run, do some I can't even do high intensity workouts. Because if I do high intensity workouts, that's going to trigger the stress hormone, which causes the weight gain in my body. Not that it would do for anybody else, right? So now I have to, now the strength training that my trainer gave me years ago is what I can use now, because that's how my body responds. So doing strength training, that's super, super slow. That's what my body needs. So it's getting the full workout, keeping the stress levels low, and able to give me the results that I need. So so I kind of wanted to give you guys an update about that, and about PCOS, and anyone out there who is also experiencing symptoms and feeling discouraged. You're not alone. And I honestly, because this is PCOS Awareness Month, is when I realized how many people struggle with it. But it's comforting to know that I'm not alone. I've never talked about this to anyone except for my close friends and family, some of my family, not even all my family, just my parents and my brother are aware, and some of my closest friends know like what I've been dealing with, and the frustrations, and just all the new information, and having to readjust to how my body is now, and like loving my body, and not being mad at my body, because sometimes I'm mad at my body. I'm mad because I'm like, I'm trying to do everything right, I feel, and sometimes you feel like your body's just working against you, and so it's really hard. But I'm grateful that I found so many resources to help me and to remind me that, hey, girl, you're not by yourself, and this is something that can be reversed, and you can live a normal life, and you can have children, and you can, have the life that you envision. This is not the end. And for anyone who has PCOS, or anyone who has struggled with any infertility or whatever the case is, I'm not trying to have children right now, but for me, it's kind of like the anxiety of like, okay, when I'm ready, will I be able to? But for anybody who's struggling with this condition, I'm encouraging you that God honestly has the final say. And that's kind of what encourages me, to know that God has the final say. So God wants me to have children, I'm having children, whether I have PCOS or not. Like, you know what I mean? It's best though to make sure my body is healthy and prepared. But anybody out there, when God is ready to bless you with that child, it doesn't matter what the doctors say. It doesn't matter, what anyone says, what even you say, He will bless you. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I will do an update and try to fill you guys in on my journey, things that I learned. But yeah, I hope you guys are encouraged and blessed by this. I don't know everything. It's something I'm still figuring out, but I figured I would share with you guys and be transparent. Also, this month is PCOS Awareness Month, like I mentioned, and just kind of sharing with you guys what I've been experiencing, what I've been going through, my body changes, life changes, and all of that. And yeah, love you guys always. Thank you.